This episode sponsored by Craft Tales. Craft cocktails with a twist. And now, here's Christopher Titus with this week's Armageddon Update.
I'm Christopher Titus, people. This is the Armageddon Update. Well, this week again, the craziest,
special beef,
most unhinged,
raccoon roadkill,
batshit
start twerking
behavior by our president continues.
It's going to be so hot.
At the correspondence dinner, I watched the worst roast set I have ever witnessed. No jokes, just insults.
A fat pig, okay? So smile, Caitlin. This place is really the largest group of Trump derangement syndrome.
Delivered by a man who can barely speak out loud.
David Ellison, who's going to do offended job. He's the owner of offended job.
Let alone be funny. Here are some of the zingers.
The attempted mass murder at the Washington Hilton, that's what it could have been, was an assault on our democracy itself. Very serious. What do we do here? Is this supposed to be fun? Am I supposed to be serious? Am I supposed to be a comedian?
Roastmaster Jeff Ross is spinning in his grave, and he's not dead. He just saw Trump said at the correspondence dinner and climbed into a coffin on his own. And I can't really call him jokes. Trump's performance was so bad, he actually got booked on Kill Tony. But let's talk about the downfall of America and the raping of free and fair elections by an adjudicated rapist. Now, Trump isn't claiming when he beat Hillary it was rigged, and that election was actually ran by Democrats. He's not claiming 2024 was rigged, and that actual election was ran by Democrats. That was Biden's election. He's claiming that in 2020, the election his administration was in charge of was rigged. So the Democrats ran fair elections, but the Republicans didn't? Yeah, that makes total sense, right? So even after Chris Krebs, Trump's appointee, who ran the 2020 election, said, quote, "It was the most secure election in history."
Those systems that do that auditing were secure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even after the cyber ninjas spent 3 months counting every vote cast in Arizona. 3 months! And they found 400 more votes for Joe Biden. Then Trump called the Georgia Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, to find
11,780 votes.
We did an audit of that, and we proved conclusively that they were not scanned 3 times.
But nobody can make a case for that, Brett. Nobody. I mean, look, you'd have to be a child to think anything other than that. Just a child.
So then Trump sent his minions to the Capitol to overthrow the certification of the election and hang Mike Pence. Because he didn't like the election results of the election he was in charge of. Oh, there is voter fraud committed by the president and also Ken Paxton, who, by the way, has voted from an address he doesn't live at 6 times. That's voter fraud. But what's happening now? See, 2020 was almost 7 years ago. Well, here's Christopher Titus's Trump's Gonna Steal the Election timeline. So, if you think the election is bad, the first thing you should do is increase election security, right? No, you silly goose. You shut down CISA, the Internet and Election Security Agency. Well, since we now know that mail-in has to be hand and machine counted, you make sure it's easy to vote by mail, right? No! You make the post office stop accepting mail-in ballots, and then you decimate the Voting Rights Act. Then you continue to claim the election is rigged, even though you lost 65 court cases and in almost 7 years have shown zero proof or any evidence of voter fraud. There are less instances of voter fraud than Trump has sexual assault allegations. And one more thing. If there was voter fraud in 2020, why did one of the most powerful media companies in the world have to pay $800 million because they lied and said there was voter fraud? Because, my friends, there's no voter fraud. In 2020, 2024, we'll get back to you. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. It's crazy to me that anybody even fucking believes this is possible. Okay, so 6 years later, he's still bitching about 2020 after he supposedly won in 2024. You know what that means? That means they're rigging the next election or the midterms, and so he's going to say, yeah, it's voting's rigged. So when it's weird, oh fuck, I'm so fucking, my brain hurts! Hey everybody, Christopher Titus Podcast. How you doing? Well, another psychotic week in America. With me, as always, the lovely Rachel Bradley.
What's up, people?
I am, this thing on election fraud is got to the point where nothing makes sense in such a way that I feel crazy.
Yes.
Not that I haven't felt crazy every day,
yes.
But what I don't quite get is like, and I talked about it in the Armageddon update. Let's talk about this. Okay, so when he beat Hillary Clinton, that election was straight up. That election was fair and free, and it was done by the Obama administration.
Yes.
So Obama was in charge of that election, right?
Handled it well.
So it was free. It was free. It was even Trump was like, "Boy, good job, Obama."
Yes.
Although he may have said that later. So then you got the election in 2020, which was run by who? Trump and his people, Chris Krebs, right?
Fake.
And Chris Krebs, we have video of Chris Krebs saying it was the most secure election in American history.
Yes.
His own guy, the guy he appointed.
He's now going after him, by the way.
He's going after Krebs now.
And has been for some time.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. The guy he hired.
I do believe that there's a video somewhere of him not knowing that he appointed Krebs. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think we put it in the Armageddon update.
Appointed this guy Biden or whatever, and
But
people
this is what
around
he
him
always
were
did.
like,
We'll get to it, but he did this on the correspondence dinner too. He did it about the writers of the jokes.
So he first appointed Krebs to DHS in 2017 as an infrastructure protection advisor, then later as secretary for the National Protection and Programs Directorate, the NPPD. When Congress officially created CISA under DHS in 2018, Trump appointed Krebs as its director.
Hold on. Wait, I didn't know this. Wait, the Election Security Administration was created by Trump?
Well, CISA.
And they just fired CISA.
Infrastructure.
But that's part of CISA. He fired
Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency.
So he fired everybody from CISA. Right?
He just did do that.
Gave
yes.
a lot of people, first it was, I was looking at the Brennan Center thing. First it was early retirement, but they get all their benefits for the rest of the year. So they have to go. So, okay, so let's go to the third election. So the second election, 2020, run by the Trump administration, he lost. And that's the one he says is the one that was run by his guys.
Horribly.
Okay.
Yes.
Then he wins 2024, and that election was run by who?
Biden's
administration. So Biden administration did a perfect, healthy
that
election.
election was good. Yes.
So I want to be clear. Does this make sense to you that the election that was run by the guy who's claiming election fraud is the election that we have trouble with?
Correct.
That's insane.
And run by all of his appointees. Yes. That would be the one that was really shit on toast.
Really troublesome. The one that we did, really horrible.
So, but be clear about that. He appointed Krebs to 3 different federal jobs. Wow. So Congress created CISA in 2018 as a part of DHS. Trump then took him from NPPD and put him over CISA as its director, where he was to oversee government efforts to secure critical infrastructure and the 2018 and 2020 elections.
So, all right.
He then fired him via Twitter, in case you were wondering, in 2020.
And he also got rid of trans-military over Twitter.
That's true.
What is fucking going on? All right, so here's and by the way, you just reminded me of something by doing this. We forget, people, on the fucking daily how many crazy things this guy does per day.
Yes.
I'm not talking one a week. I'm talking per day. This is the same guy who stared into an eclipse. This is the same guy who, when he was handing out candy at that White House on Halloween, just dropped it on the head of a guy dressed as a minion, of a kid dressed as a minion. Just I don't know. I don't live in the real world. I don't know how to put candy.
I am sad.
Candy in the bag.
That video where he's so out of touch that he just puts the candy bar on top of the child's head. I like to watch all of his falling asleep videos during press conferences. Those are a high point when I'm feeling low. And
he is a TikTok like best of clip thing.
I like groceries. I like that speech.
What with this word groceries? Like, where did this come? But it's an old-fashioned word. Nobody knows
no,
the
it's
word
not.
Grocery.
Equalize. I just came up with that word.
Equalized. He's an equalizer.
Again, Denzel would like a word.
Also, what was the other one where the new one? Affordability.
Oh.
They keep throwing in this word, this made up word, affordability. I was one of our spelling words when I was in school. Yes. Affordability.
It actually means something.
Yeah, it means that things aren't affordable.
That is exactly correct. So that's why I've told you guys before, it drives me crazy that he says it's a hoax, because it actually, by nature, cannot be a hoax. English major here. I just have to say it again. It literally means people are saying they can't afford things.
What is this little dot at the end of a sentence?
Okay.
This little dot, that's supposed to stop all the words. Well, how come there's more words after the little dot? If the little dot was supposed to be the end of a sentence, why is there more words after the dot? Like, he's a genius. I love the guy. So
I do want, so you're right. Chris Krebs publicly came out, CISA did, and called 2020 presidential election the most secure in American history.
the one he says is not good.
Correct. The one that he ran. And after that, I told you, he's gone after Chris Krebs. He revoked his global entry.
Holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
So the guy he appointed came out and told the truth, and he revoked his global entry?
Hey, all of it. It's like John Brennan, how he took his security clearance.
Yes. Oh, God.
The guy that ran the CIA now has no security clearance. So he fired him on Twitter in 2020, right after the election. He targeted him during this term with an executive order. He literally wrote an executive order stripping his security clearance as well, and his global entry, and directed a federal investigation into him.
What a fragile, dickless pussy this guy is.
Yeah. And all the guy did was say, I did my job very well. My team and I, we did our job that you hired us to do very well.
Well, we put it in the thing, the guy that just recently, they said, is there an election fraud? No, we can't see any election fraud. The guy recently who ran away and he did the skitter. He actually skittered. He skittered backwards away from the reporter that was going after him.
Yes.
We have no evidence of any voter fraud. No votes are missing, nothing.
Stripped him of his security clearance,
Jesus.
Labeled him a bad faith actor in his executive order. He started a DOJ and law enforcement investigation. The executive order actually directed the DOJ to start that investigation. Wow. Corporate pressure. The order also targeted Krebs' private sector employer, the company he went to after he lost his job. It's a cybersecurity firm called Sentinel One. He threatened in an executive order to suspend the security clearances of any companies associated with them.
So let's go over like the step-by-step on the 20.
That made Krebs have to resign from that job.
Jesus Christ. This is, I hope to God, because that is all illegal in 1,000 different ways.
And now he has travel restrictions because of the DOJ investigation.
So let's go over the steps of 2020. Now, if you guys remember 2020, we were discussing it today. We had COVID. COVID popped up. So what happened was in 2020, at the peak of COVID, it was really right before the peak. It was getting hot. It was really hot. We had to have an election. That was November of 2020, right? Mm-hmm. So we have an election, and we can't go anywhere. So everybody fills out mail-in ballots. Now, if you remember correctly, he kept complaining about mail-in ballots. He kept going, you can't use mail-in ballots. They're easily. I'm going to be very clear. Here's why he hates mail-in ballots. Mail-in ballots have to be counted twice. Look this up. Make sure I'm not making this up. So they have to be counted when they come in by hand, and then they're fed through a machine. So they're counted twice, which means that it's definite. You have to match the signatures, and that's how that comes in. So they're really the most secure way. Now, we know from our friends over at Election Truth Alliance that the machines themselves have modems in it, and they're coded. So if you put in the wrong line of code, it could literally change an algorithm where for every 40 votes, it would give 45. You get an extra 5 to whatever person you said. We know that that's possible because they have modems, and they do basically send their messages over Wi-Fi and over a modem. Updates and stuff, right? And here's the thing. You guys don't know this. We've said it before, but if you don't know this, they did a de minimis update. A de minimis update is labeled as such so they don't have to report exactly what the update was. It's a mild, minor update. So, and you do remember Doge had how many hackers working for him? Basically, Doge had all these hackers working for him, and Musk called the election 4 hours before it started.
So hand counting paper ballots is usually conducted in smaller jurisdictions.
Right.
By people that are required to be hired early and trained.
So poll workers by hand have to sit down and they added up every single
My
one of those
grandma
mail-in
Jean
votes.
was a poll worker.
She
It
was.
one of my favorite things that she would
How did she say it?
I worked the polls.
The first time she said this, I remember I lost it.
We were
She
like,
goes, why is
"What
he
do you
laughing?
do?"
Why is he laughing? Well, what club are you working, Grandma? And what are the clientele like?
Sure. So Republicans obviously backed him up, of course, about, and for 18 months have targeted CISA, have restricted its powers. Here's the thing. Part of that acronym, the I, is infrastructure, right? And the C is cybersecurity. So that would include our
water plants,
our pipelines,
electrical plants,
electrical grid,
AI
targeting elections.
Bad actors that are going through back doors trying to get into systems.
So now new fears about AI powered hacking. The midterm election has lifted this agency out of exile with all of these Trump following Republicans. They are now advocating, because he gutted CISA, for rehiring staff and restoring funding, because he took their funding away, to this cyber agency, because turns out we need it.
Yeah, so Russia or someone doesn't, or Iran doesn't hack our systems, shut our grid down, and kill millions of Americans.
Correct.
Okay, so let me be clear. So if you believe there's election fraud and you believe that someone is trying to hack the elections, the first thing you do is cancel the security agency that takes care of elections.
Well, that's exactly. That sounds makes perfect sense.
Okay, guys, we're having a lot of shoplifting going on. We're going to fire all the guards.
Well,
and leave the door open.
Bob, you're hired. In fact, you're the president.
I'm a shoplifting security expert. Well, I think what we need to do is leave more stuff outside.
Oh, hold on. You need a promotion. That's the thing that I think makes me feel most crazy about all of this, is that it all lacks common sense, I guess, where it's what they said the first term. Was it Kellyanne Conway that said, what the truth is not the truth?
No, she said,
what you see.
Alternative facts.
She did say that too, but there was like a sentence, something like, what you see is not real.
She goes, that is not the truth. We have alternative facts.
That she did say that too. Yeah. But they said a lot of things, and it turns out to be true, because we can see, like what you just said, if he said that he's interested in the elections being secure, and then he does everything he can to dismantle the infrastructure in place to keep it secure, then it must not be true.
You do remember that this is the same guy, people, that called up Georgia after he fucking lost, and he asked for 11,780
votes.
And Brad Raffensperger then got attacked after Brad Raffensperger said, no, Mr. President. Then they went after Brad Raffensperger doesn't have his job anymore, if I remember correctly. So
I thought he still did.
I thought he did for a while, and then later on.
Let's find out. He's 71 years old, rock solid conservative businessman. No. He's been serving as the Secretary of State since 2019.
So my question is this: why? Well, I guess you don't have to testify once we have the fucking recording.
He's married to Trisha. She's a fine, handsome woman.
Oh no, she's sturdy. I thought you'd look at a picture. So we've got a guy. Okay, then they cut the Voting Rights Act.
Oh, he's running for governor.
Good. So then they cut the Voting Rights Act. Right?
Okay, so let's go look, because you pointed out that the Brennan Center.
The Brennan Center has a list of guys. When you see the shit he's done just since he got elected to the second term to stop any kind of checks and balances on elections, to make sure that that elections are anything could happen. When you see everything he's done, and we're going to go through it a little bit, you're going to be stunned at what can I say, raging piece of shit our president is. He's so anti-democracy. He's actually trying to.
I would definitely agree with that.
All right. Okay. So do you have it? You have it in front of you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Do you have the list? There's a list, little bullet points.
Yeah, but it's pretty crazy. They actually created a timeline that begins January 20 January 20th, 2025.
So the day he walked, okay, just so you guys know, the day he got into office after being elected,
yes,
he said, what was that thing he wrote? It's right there, 20.
Oh, I didn't know this was a test. So
You're reading it. It's not really a test.
Well, on January 20th, he did a lot of things, but one of the things that he did was he pardoned all of the January 6th rioters.
Right. So
explain why that's important.
Well, here's why that's important. Because number one, if he thought the election was free and fair, why did he send a bunch of people? Well, he didn't think it was free and fair, but why didn't he just count the votes? Because what you could have done as president, instead of sending a fucking 10,000 people mob to go kill cops and try to break the windows of Congress and hang Mike Pence, what you could have done is ordered a recount nationwide, right? Mm-hmm. And that would have proven that he lost. So what he did instead was he'd sent all these guys on January 6th. And then the second he got into office, he pardoned 1,600 treasonous, traitorous criminals.
He called them political prisoners. Which was very convenient because that leaves out the fact that they went through the
trial
or whatever it was. Some pled guilty, but they went through our established criminal justice process to find themselves in a position where they might need a pardon. Some pled guilty. That's the one we should really focus on because they said they did it. Yeah. And then he pardoned them and called them political prisoners.
Yeah. It's so Putin, I can't even describe how criminal it is.
These other people were charged by grand juries, then convicted after going through a trial, if they didn't plead out, by juries or federal judges. He calls them great patriots.
A lot of them been arrested for child molestation shit.
And the recidivism rate of these people is...
These patriots are really committing a lot of crime for patriots after they got pardoned, I will say.
He opened his very first campaign rally after he won in Waco, Texas with Justice for All, the song recorded over the phone by the insurrectionists that were in prison, set to the tune of Star Spangled Banner. So... I would say that's a misuse of pardon.
We live in crazy town. And we keep forgetting.
Americans apparently oppose this.
2/3 of Americans. But okay, then keep going down the timeline a little bit. We'll go bit by bit.
Well, shit, we could sit and do the whole podcast about that, though.
Yeah,
okay, same day, he issued an executive order that led to a pause in all election security activities.
Stop. Hold on. I thought he said the election was not secure and that it was rigged. So why, if the election was rigged, especially in 2020, why would you stop all election security?
You ask good questions.
Thank you.
He titled this EO, Restoring Freedom of Speech and Ending Federal Censorship. Started an internal investigation at CISA, started a pause of all election security activities.
Wait, he's investigating.
Defunded them and fired a bunch of them.
So he's investigating and fired and dismantled the organization he started to keep elections secure?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
Yes.
What the fuck?
4 days later, the DOJ withdrew from its involvement in pro-voter cases. They had a friend of the court brief and a request to participate in the Supreme Court oral argument in Calais versus Landry. A ruling in favor of the Calais plaintiffs would risk the Supreme Court finding that some of the most effective remedies brought by Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, that's coming up, that allows voters to challenge discriminatory voting policies that could be deemed unconstitutional.
So they pulled out of that case.
DOJ pulled out 4 days later.
Which dismisses the case, right?
Well, we know what happened we live in the future, and we know what happened to the Voting Rights Act in the Supreme Court now.
So
4 days after that, DOJ dismissed its voter purge case in Virginia. February 5th, CISA employees are fired.
Let's be clear what we're talking about. So you guys, just so you know, Biden's administration had filed some voter suppression cases when Biden was president because there were states that were actually literally keeping black people from voting. So when that happened, when Trump came in within the first week.
Yeah, January 28th.
that's literally 8 days since he's been elected. He had the DOJ dismiss those cases and unfile those cases,
Yes.
which means that the criminal activity keeping voters from voting continues because the Biden administration case against the illegality of violating the Voting Rights Act was just let go.
Well, if you recall,
I don't recall. It's too much. How do
I
you recall it?
know
How do you
Glenn
recall it?
Youngkin was running
Yeah, Glenn
Virginia,
Youngkin, yes.
and they purged massive amounts of voters in the state. The DOJ under Biden obviously was challenging this purge, saying that they alleged that it had disproportionately and wrongly removed naturalized citizens from the voter rolls.
People who had the right to vote.
Correct. Like Melania. Right?
Well, she came in on a genius visa.
Well,
Turns out her vagina can do math.
like
Nope. It's in. Boop, beep. Boop.
Okay, so then fired CISA employees. February 5th, same day CISA employees got fired. Pam Bondi was sworn in as the U.S. Attorney General.
Pam
She
Bondi.
had publicly
What did she say about elections?
stated she was an election denier
So
when he lost.
again, so he puts in head of the DOJ
Mhm.
someone who believes that the election that he was in charge of
Correct.
was a fraud election.
She said there was mass evidence of cheating in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
She had previously said this. and
Okay. So mass cheating. Okay, let's go over the mass cheating.
Okay.
And you can look this up too.
That sounds more
There
fun than
were
it is.
65 court cases filed nationwide regarding voter fraud. And there was anomalies in the system, and there was dead people that voted, and there was aliens that voted. I'm not talking illegal aliens. I'm talking ETs who voted. So there was all these.
Like,
Biden.
I really had a need to complete that.
I know.
I don't know why.
I saw your OCD just kick in. Just like, touch my finger. Hey, do it again. Let's do it again.
Don't vote.
Don't vote. No,
Then
no one's
same
gonna know what that
day,
is. That movie's so old. No one's gonna know what we just did.
no idea. Same day, DOJ established the Weaponization Working Group under Pam Bondi. Task force ordered to review the activities of all the president's perceived enemies, including people involved in investigating what happened on January 6th.
Do you remember though? At the time, do you remember when he was running and they asked him if he's going to have an enemies list, and he said
Yes.
no.
But Kash Patel said yes.
And now they have an enemies
Yes.
list.
So
Kash Patel also an election
anyone
denier.
involved in just doing their job and running or participating in an investigation
Committed
of
to
what
right and
happened.
wrong. Committed to right and wrong.
Correct. And prosecuting anybody who prosecuted Trump during that time or any of his businesses. These were all people that she ordered to be investigated by this WWG, including, obviously, they started an investigation into Jack Smith and the Manhattan DA.
And
Alvin Bragg. I could not
Alvin
think of
Bragg.
Alvin Bragg.
Alvin Bragg.
Damn, cut out that thinking
also
time.
Letitia James, who had him. So
Who was the
so
AG of
this
the state.
pathetic, thin-skinned, no character, coward bitch goes after anybody who just points out that he's a criminal. And by the way,
Oh, God.
how do we know he's a criminal? 34 felonies and a rape case, and he had to pay off on.
I was so happy, you guys, that he had to pay that $5 million to her.
There's another 83 he's supposed to pay.
Yes, but it was like, that's what I mean. I sometimes feel like there's parallel worlds happening at the same time,
Yeah.
where you see justice served at the same time. No one can touch him. You know,
And our
it's-
media seems to go batshit for stuff that's made up and the stuff that really
Yeah.
happens, they have no clue or responsibility to report. There's so much that this dickhead did that our media just kind of glosses over. And I was watching CNN guy, unwatchable. Don't watch CNN anymore. I watched it. It is so right leaning at this point. It's Fox Light now.
Yeah.
There's no middle ground. And I watch Anderson Cooper slowly dying. He's literally, it's like someone threw water on him. He's just slowly every day, slowly dying.
Well, they fired Don Lemon, and Don Lemon.
Then Don
now-
Lemon got arrested.
he got arrested and charged. I mean, along with, I think, 7 other members of the media.
Right.
And so all that is obviously to instill fear in reporting the truth, right?
They tried to end Jimmy Kimmel. They got rid of Scott Pelley over at 60 Minutes. There's some
Colbert.
new douche. Colbert. There's, by the way, those 3 people are like always have stood up for America, whether it's healthcare, whatever. Those 3 people have always been told it straight, kept it clean, and were very funny about it, except for Scott Pelley, who was just very dead serious.
Yes.
You still want to hang out with Scott Pelley?
I do. He's like somebody I would want to have oatmeal with.
Yes, because you'd be wiser. You would leave. It's like Yoda sat down and had a breakfast with you.
Yes.
That's what that would be.
Yes.
So we've got, and then you may not care, but I blocked CBS on our TV. I went to the menu and it says what channels you can block. And I blocked CBS.
Why are we doing that?
Because Barry Weiss, who runs CBS, has destroyed destroyed 60 Minutes. 60 Minutes was like the #1 show on television for 50 years.
What am I going to miss if I don't have CBS? I don't know.
Exactly. You're going to miss some weird half-ass, weak-ass show.
I just watched
about
The Hawk
firemen
on Netflix.
Great.
Oh my gosh.
Fortune Feimster.
Oh my gosh. Fortune, what a great, awesome thing for her. I remember when we did the shows with her during COVID here, we streamed live shows with Fortune. She and her wife are the nicest people ever. And I just remember she was worried that her career had started to go and COVID happened. And I remember telling her, I promise you, it's going to be great. You're still you. You're still very unique. She's very funny. And she's a co-star with one of the funniest people on the planet. Yeah. And David Shatraw makes a surprise appearance.
She's his fucking sidekick.
Yes. You got to watch it. It's very funny. He dances in a thong to the thong song in the first episode. Yeah. And you really I just thought nobody does it like Will Ferrell. Nobody is as free or as funny. And I also got that David Shatraw is going to pop up in every television show I watch without ever mentioning it to us until the end of time.
Can I say something about Will Ferrell's acting in The Hawk, which is
Holy crap.
Okay, so look, we all know Will Ferrell's goofy. We all know how funny Will Ferrell can be. There's moments in The Hawk where he is such a good actor where he breaks your heart. Yeah. And he does it also in a funny way. It was such a good series. And I just texted Fortune. I said, congratulations. We watched it. I said, we loved it. It was great. And she's so sweet. She goes, this makes my whole day. She's such a nice human being.
She is so funny.
Yeah. But here's the weird thing. There's a lot of people in show business. You can say off camera, they're dickheads, me being one. Fortune Feimster, if someone came to me and go, yeah, Fortune Feimster's kind of a bitch, I'd probably punch him in the throat as hard as I could. I go, nah, I know her dick.
That would not be deserved.
She is the sweetest human being.
Some people I might believe that about, and they're big time dog people. They brought their dog with them, and I was
guys, when you can't watch The Hawk.
Speaking of being fun and having funny, this episode brought to you by Craft Tales. This is...
Okay, so all right, so we went to a friend of ours' birthday party, Tony Horn's birthday party, and I've stopped drinking. I'm now 90, almost 100. I'm 100 days into not drinking, which is, and I cannot tell you how much clearer I am, how more specific I am. I'm seeing things I never saw before, and that's maybe because I was blind drunk all the time. I don't know if that's why.
You were not.
But I was not. But here's the thing. So I'm at this party with everybody. People are drinking, and you have this moment when you stop drinking. You're like, oh man. Okay, I'm not going to be fun anymore. It's not going to be fun anymore. And I had these craft.
Let's tell what it is. So it's a premium craft cocktail mixer. Oh, I did.
Why don't we display that?
Yeah, this is easier so you guys can actually see what it looks like. I'm obsessed, as he knows.
I'm obsessed. I had 3 of them one night.
I mixed mine with alcohol, but this is what it looks like, right?
Hand me the other one.
So there's a bunch of different choices. So what I love about this, number one, it appeals to this whole sobriety movement, right? You're not drinking. Tony doesn't drink. Zach doesn't drink. Right. Perfect. And all there is NA beer. And you're not a beer drinker. You always hated beer because of your dad, but you guys would all have NA beer at our parties. And it was weird always. And so this, if you're not drinking, you pour this over ice or don't. They're amazing. And you get to have a mixed drink feeling without having the mixed drink. I will tell you though, Highly recommend. This is my all-time favorite one. It's spicy pineapple margarita.
That's the one.
Oh my God.
Guys, so so you know that little bit of burn you get from the, and I think it's your brain. Like if you get a little burn from it, your brain goes, "Oh, okay, that's a drink."
Yeah.
That's what it tastes like, and you don't have any. You're not missing anything. You're not. Your body's going, "Okay, all right, we're doing this. We're part of the party." And I remember I had 3 of them that night, and I just felt like it was part of the thing, and I was totally sober, but I felt like I had a drink. They're so good.
They're so good.
They're so
good. The thing that they did, and what I love about it too, is it's real fruit juice, and they use natural botanicals, no added sugar, artificial flavors, or preservatives. If you look at the ingredients, Amber, my friend who's the trainer, she was like, "Let me see this." And
she does it
the one
I
love, is 45 calories, and it has stevia leaf. It's not sugar. And you have many, many choices. There's a Cosmo, there's a regular margarita, there's a Paloma with hints of spruce. Like they're very multi-layered flavors. Mojito. You guys just have to go to crafttails.com, CRAFTAILS.
And guys, here's the thing.
And they're winning all kinds of awards.
Here's the thing about products. So a lot of people will try, let's say people jump on the NA thing, the non-alcoholic thing. These people, we know these people.
Yeah.
These people wanted it to be, they're like us. I want it to feel like a drink and not be a drink. And it does.
Well, it's like, when you go now to like a nice high-end restaurant or bar, how you get like smoked paprika, all of these.
They're like artisan
We
cocktails.
met the mixologist guy that night, and he takes this stuff quite seriously.
Yes, he does.
And uses all kinds of elevated ingredients like that. And I love that it's these great high-quality ingredients. And again, if you can go online and get different packs to try different things, but mojito. But I love the spicy pineapple margarita. You guys have to try that.
But saying it's healthy and everything is one thing. If the way it tastes, if it was bacon bits, I would still be using it. It's that good.
It's that good.
If to make it taste that good, you had to use bacon bits and a dioxin, I would still drink it. But it's not. It's perfect.
Craft Tales, guys, please don't take that suggestion.
Crafttails.com.
CRAFTAILS.com.
And here's the bonus. Ready? All right. So you got the Craft Tales. Let's say you have some top shelf tequila. It's still a drink mixer.
Oh, did I not? I didn't mention.
You didn't. Without it, you can just you had a shot of tequila in it, and it's the best drink.
So that's what Shauna and I were doing that night. You were having the spicy pineapple margarita over ice,
clean, yeah,
and we were having it with Plata tequila, just silver tequila. The mojito, there's a ginger mule. Just add vodka to it, and you've got this drink where you feel like you're sitting in a gastropub in New York City.
And the mojito, you add rum to it, right?
Yes.
So basically, they've given you these mixtures that can work with different alcohol, and they taste like a drink without the alcohol anyway.
It tastes like you had that hipster guy show up at your house,
exactly,
in his little Chelsea boots,
the
and
guy with the tattoos and the 1900 train engineer mustache. That guy's made your drink.
He put smoked jalapeno in that one I keep telling you guys about.
So good.
He put black pepper in the ginger mule. I mean, it's like you just have to go try them. They're coming to Total Wine. Just go try it. Get on first.
Good stuff.
Okay, you want to go back to misery?
Yeah, let's do a couple more. Misery.
This is actually 3 pages. That's
I know.
Why
we can't.
I know. Okay. Okay. We don't have to talk about all of them. So
I do want to.
On Valentine's Day,
okay,
CISA froze all election security activities, and DHS cut all funding for ELSAC, Election Infrastructure Information Sharing and Analysis Center.
But hold on, why? I thought he said the elections were rigged. Why would you take away the election security if the elections were rigged? Do you guys understand that we keep buying this man's bullshit? And the problem is there's a feeling in the country that we don't have any way to fight back, right? So just want to point out, and I want you to get this clear. This man has actually claimed the election was rigged since 2020. He sent a mob of assholes that hurt cops, tried to beat the shit out of everybody, and hang Mike Pence. He then came back on a second term, and then claimed again that it was rigged. Now, while it was rigged, he quote says it's rigged. He had cyber ninjas actually investigate for 3 months. They found 400 more votes for Joe Biden at the end, which
was an oopsie.
Yeah, that's embarrassing. and then he went across the country and trying to get people to count, and they recounted. They had 65 court cases, didn't do anything. Then they said there was nothing. They were thrown out. Then he says rigged again as the midterms are approaching. It's so fucking transparent, and I don't understand. Look, we've been told in our lives that the checks and balances work. We've been told that there's no way this could happen because we have the three branches of government. The executive, the judicial, and the, gosh darn it, what is it? The judicial?
Judicial.
Judicial. You always sound drunk. You say judicial. Judicial, executive, and legislative branches. Now, the legislative branch, the Supreme Court, is so far up his butt. I can actually only.
That's judicial.
Right, judicial branch. Right, the legislative is Congress. Congress is so far up his butt.
They're not legislating.
I can't even see Mitch McConnell's feet anymore. Of course, nobody can because he's been cremated and buried. And Trump had to have Lindsey Graham's head pulled out of his ass because he died. That being said, then you've got the judicial branch that basically, again, there's a lot of people in Trump's ass right now. And we don't have anybody standing for us. So what we were told was, don't worry about it. We got it. And now we are in a place where nobody's helping us.
No one's coming to help us.
And he keeps replacing these people with the dumbest people possible.
Well,
and the least qualified.
So on that day, Doge fired all CISA employees, and the hacker, Edward Correstein, became the new senior advisor at CISA.
The 21-year-old kid, is that the kid?
He's a hacker. He has since left, and he's now at our Social Security Administration. Nothing to fear there. Then they swore in, and this was to your point, an election denier as FBI director, Kash Patel.
So we now have the head of the DOJ was an election denier. Of course, the new one also is. Kash Patel is also an election denier.
And he's trying now with Todd Blanche.
Who's also an election denier.
Correct.
So the people that are in charge of our government's most secret and sensitive agencies that are actually in charge of law enforcement and making sure that we have a free and fair system don't believe in a free and fair system. And with the administration that they work for, who was in charge of that election, believed that election was fake.
Correct.
Fuck, we're
He
dumb.
then signed an executive order targeting the law firm Covington and Burling. They were the ones that assisted special counsel Jack Smith in investigating January 6th. He then put out a statement of interest in a habeas petition challenging the incarceration of Tina Peters. If you remember
Colorado.
The election clerk, she was convicted in state court of 4 felonies, sentenced to prison for granting unauthorized access to the voting equipment.
But let's stop and see what she did. This woman gave people unauthorized access to voting equipment that counted votes. And this is Trump's administration. She got arrested, she got convicted, she got put in jail, and then Trump pardoned her.
Correct.
Now, if you're worried about election security, why would you pardon the person who was fucking with election security?
He attempted to pardon her state conviction, but he does not have that authority.
She's still in jail?
So what happened was November 12th, the Federal Bureau of Prisons sent a letter requesting that the Colorado Department of Corrections transfer her from the state facility where she's currently being held to a federal prison. On December 5th, Trump attempted to pardon the state conviction, but does not have
They
that
told him to
authority.
fuck off, hopefully.
He then issued another EO targeting another law firm because the law firm had represented a political opponent and done a lot of voting stuff, challenged restrictive voter ID laws that made it harder for eligible citizens to vote.
So they dropped that
So
case
did a
too.
lot of election-related lawsuits, so targeted that law firm.
All right. So again, I'm going to keep saying this till you guys get it. If you think the election was rigged, the first thing you would do is cut election security,
Dear God.
make it harder for everybody to vote.
Yep. Vote. He
and then go after the Voting Rights Act, which kept elections safe.
I mean, this you can see was calculated because this has the dates and it's March 6th, March 8th,
Yep.
March 10th. I mean, we're still in March. The DOJ dismissed the redistricting case in Texas. It was obviously a discriminatory redistricting plan. Then CISA cut $10 million in funding for entities that supported election security work.
And you guys do remember that all this redistricting thing they were doing in Texas was to get 5 more seats. You do understand that this piece of shit is actually fucking with our elections on the daily, including which representative represents which district. So black people are losing their districts. All minorities are losing their districts. And then people got mad at California. We were like, because Gavin was like, well, then we'll do it.
Yeah.
Then what you guys can do it, we're doing it. They're like, you can't do that. Well, only we can beat evil and criminal.
Exactly. He threatened all 2020 election officials with prosecution in a speech at the DOJ. He issued another EO targeting another law firm, Paul Weiss, who employed an attorney who brought a lawsuit against one of the insurrectionists.
Right.
So those executive orders for those law firms were really quite specific.
And guys, so all our freedoms are being taken away. Law firms, rule of law, people that follow the rule of law, that are actually making sure that things are right and fair. The president is going after them because they're doing the right thing.
Yes.
So when you look at where we are, people go, well, one day we may be a dictatorship. We're not one day going to be a dictatorship. We're a dictatorship right now. In fact, wait for this to just go dead at any moment. Because I'm
actually skipping things. There's so many.
Right. There's so many. Guys, go to the Brennan Center website.
You don't want to do a lot
we
of
can keep
them?
going. Well, we could do it like you said all day, but we have other stuff. We have funnier stuff to talk about.
Well, if you,
know that
I only got to March 2025.
Okay, skip forward 3 months. Let's go. April,
but
May,
there's
June.
so many in between. He
Yeah.
issued an executive order on elections called Preserving and Protecting the Integrity of American Elections.
After he fired CISA.
It aims to usurp federal election regulation powers away from Congress, the states, and the Election Assistance Commission.
And give them to the president.
Yeah.
So, guys, you also know that you go down further. He actually wants to federalize elections, which is not the point of it. The reason our elections are so safe is because they're so spread out. Part of the reasons our elections are so safe because every little district, every grandma that's out there at the polls, working the polls, is counting votes and doing what they're supposed to do because they're true Americans. All those are added up. And then those are districts, and then those are added to the states, and then the states gets totaled, and then that gets sent up, and all the states get counted on their own, and the states are in charge of elections. And the reason that is so some asshole, dipshit, diaper-wearing, bankrupt, racist, rapist doesn't steal the election, which I believe he did this on 2024.
Yeah, you can skip a lot of targeting law firms that all were involved in preserving voter rights.
It's crazy that we're buying
and there's
this.
a lot of DOJ dismissals of pro-voter cases in different states.
So basically,
we can skip right
I just want to point out why. So why would they dismiss those cases? Because they were filed by the Biden administration. Because once Trump put in these people, these 6 people, or he got, how many did he get? 4 for the Supreme Court? It got 4, right? So now there's a 6-3 majority Republican conservative in the Supreme Court. The Biden administration filed to any state that was actually trying to restrict voter access. So they filed. So these cases were all pending during the Biden administration. When Trump came in, he killed all the cases so the states could continue to act illegally and against the Constitution.
Then let's skip ahead to May. The DOJ begins requesting states' election-related records and all voter list voter rolls.
They want your name, people.
They literally sent letters to, and you can look at this massive list of jurisdictions demanding this.
They sent Tulsi Gabbard into Georgia in the middle of the night, and they took all the voting records. Now, why would they do that? I'll tell you why they did it. Because in Georgia, what happened was he asked for 11,780 votes. Now, the reasoning, why didn't he call any other states? Why didn't he call everybody else? Well, because I believe they already had the fix in. And he could not, the reason he's so mad is he had the fix in so hard, he cannot believe that it didn't work. And the reason it didn't work is because COVID was so bad, people had to mail in their ballots. Had it just been a machine run election with the normal stuff, he would have won in 2022. So I think that we need, and I would ask for this, we need a countrywide recount of 2024. Our friends at Election Truth Alliance.
But do those exist anymore? I mean, you've had HSI going into some of these states and walking out with
boxes.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
exist?
No, because that's what you do. You get rid of the evidence.
Right.
So you get rid of the evidence.
He's threatened to unlawfully end mail-in voting. DOJ filed a voter purge.
Changing the post office.
Lawsuit. The DOJ filed the lawsuit in North Carolina to purge their voter rolls. They said
I'm sorry. The Department of Justice tried to take people off the legal people
they
off
said
the voting
more
rolls.
than 200,000 of the voter registration records that they got lacked a driver's license number and the last 4 digits of their social.
That's not
the
how it works.
voters, many, it has been found, had already provided it because then it required them to reach out to find these voters to try and get this information. The voters had already provided in most cases, and those numbers don't have any bearing on your eligibility to vote.
So I'm going to clean this up because we're getting really deep in the weeds on stupid shit. Now, by the way, go to the Brennan Center, look this up. There's 70 different things he's passed to stop access to voting, to make it easier for him to cheat. The guy who says the voting system is rigged has now spent almost 2 years rigging the fucking voting system.
SAVE, right? He's trying
SAVE
to
Act,
get the SAVE Act done. Systematic alien verification for entitlements. DHS admitted that it intended to conduct voter list maintenance.
Wow, that's the scariest Orwellian phrase. I have a voter list maintenance.
And then immediately the DOJ Civil Rights Division, which I skipped past, had a election denier appointed to head that division. They filed lawsuits and began litigation against individual states.
So our Department of Justice is suing states for letting people vote.
Yes.
Holy fuck.
Yes. He then pardoned 77 of his allies who supported his plans to subvert the 2020 election.
I want to point this out. I read this. Guys, did you know that there was many states where they had fake electors? So he actually organized a bunch of people, because he lost the state, to actually certify him.
Yeah.
These are fake electors. These weren't people that had the job. And they got held out in Oregon. They actually cops kept them out of the building.
But still, it's the investigation, the trials and stuff are still coming up in Arizona.
Right.
But they have Katie Hobbs in Arizona, but obviously a Trump-backed person is running against her.
And Election Truth Alliance sat down and went through the 2024 election, and they said that the odds that he won all 7 swing states within the margin of recount is 1 in 2 trillion. He flipped 88 districts. When Reagan won 49 states, he only flipped 16 districts. So we need to, I tell you what, I'm with you, President Trump. I'm with you 100%. The election was rigged. So here's what we need to do to make sure the election's never rigged again. We need to go district by district, city by city, state by state, the entire country, and recount 2024. Sir, if you believe this election was rigged, let's go through and recount every vote. Let's do that, because I believe you. I'm agree with you. We are so pissed off because we know you fucking scammed it. We know you rigged it. So let's prove you didn't. Let's recount it. In 2020, bro, you lost. You fucking lost. Cyber Ninja sat in a fucking arena and they counted every goddamn vote, and Biden had 400 more. You lost 65 court cases. The election was not rigged by any way, shape, or form. And every time you say it was with zero proof, just proves what a lying prick you actually are. So let's do this. Let's go into 2024 and let's count every single goddamn vote and prove that you won, because none of us think you did.
On February 2nd, he made a public call to nationalize elections.
Nationalize. Boy, could anything sound more Kim Jong-un than that?
He literally said Republicans needed to nationalize and, quote, take over the elections. Now, you know, there is a little the little problem with that called the Constitution.
Oh, wait, what is this Constitution you speak of? What is it? What is it? What is it?
I know that you only know about one part of it. It's 2A, which we can debate all day long.
My entire life base is based on 1A.
Yes, it is. Correct. But you don't get, it's just like the Bible. You don't just get the fun parts. You got to take the eunuchs with it too.
And
honestly,
you got to take the Old Testament and the killing and the massacring.
Speaking of eunuchs, if you guys really just want to, bear down on the Bible, I suggest we bring that back. It would certainly tame a lot of this fighting we have going on and warring and raping.
What's really stunning to me about the people who use the Bible as a weapon, and they're quoting stuff that's actually not in the Bible a lot of times.
They do say that Jesus that it's a God-given right to bear arms.
Jesus said that. Let's talk about that.
I don't think guns were invented. I can't find it.
Jesus with an AR, not in here anymore. and Jesus was stalking.
This episode brought to you by Ridge Wallets. Well, they don't just do wallets. They do all kinds of really insanely awesome products. They make those power banks that we have that we love. They make the wallets, the ones with the RFID blocking technology, and the ones that make your butt not look so big.
And guys,
they make luggage, everyday gear that's premium level. The one that you got is the carbon fiber.
Guys, it's about this big, even smaller than this. Everything fits in. I used to hate having a wallet that flipped open. It was like you're trying to close a binder, and then you put the binder in the pocket, which makes your ass look like you have a binder in your pocket. And these Ridge wallets, all your cards fit flat, little wad of money on the top. It's got clips. They have the RFD protection on them. RFID protection. It is.
The power bank is stupid too.
The power bank's so easy. It's the best one ever.
It's got Lightning, USB-C, wireless charging, built-in cables, MagSafe capability, and up to 3 full phone charges. And it's like this big.
It outdoes
Apple.
It's
a no-brainer.
Totally outdoes Apple. Totally outdoes Apple.
Oh, it's
because we have both. And the Apple one is just battery. This one's a battery, and then you pull out a cord on this side, and it actually fits one kind of phone. You pull out a cord this side, pulls another kind of phone.
Do you want to know my favorite part of the Ridge wallet?
Oh, please tell. Do tell.
Which is going to be so huge for him. And ladies, you will get this. Not only is it 10% lighter because they're made with really premium metals and carbon fiber and stuff, it is designed to pair perfectly with the new tracker card. So that works with Apple Find My. So you can track your wallet.
So if you get your wallet stolen, get pickpocketed, you can just get on your
computer.
You
get alerts if it moves out of range.
And we need more alerts, as my dad used to say.
Let's say if somebody walks by you and steals your wallet, you're going to get that alert that says your wallet is literally moving that way. Go get it. That's how I found my Tesla one day.
That was crazy.
It was really crazy. I terrorized that poor lady in the neighborhood who I thought was in my car, but really she wasn't.
I remember this day. That was a good day. So guys, so you can now track your Ridge wallet when it goes down. It is honestly quality. I haven't worn one out. Free
shipping.
But I haven't worn one out.
No, 99-day risk-free trial. I do want you guys to know that they're doing a really, really fun thing where you can win. And I just have to ask you about this because I feel like you're going to know what these are. There are some options of what you could win, but a Huracan Sterrato.
Oh, wow. A Lamborghini Huracan?
It's a Lamborghini. There's only 1,500 that exist. If you enter, you have the opportunity to win one.
Wow.
It's the world's first off-road supercar.
Yep.
A V10?
Yeah, it's, so that Lamborghini SUV you see driving around? This is an off-road version of it.
Naturally aspirated V10?
Like imagine if Lamborghini did a Ford Raptor as SUV.
Well, you can also win the Hennessy Velociraptor.
What the fuck?
What is that? That's twin turbo?
That is a Raptor twin. That is basically a Ford Raptor that Hennessy took and actually pumped it up to another whole level. Yeah.
All-terrain truck. Or a custom-built Bronco and scratch-resistant Kevlar armor. Riding high on 37-inch off-road tires. All you have to do, you don't have to do anything. You can sign up completely free at ridge.com. That's crazy.
Oh, go get a truck, bitches.
I want the Lambo. Why wouldn't you want the Lambo? Although The Kevlar Bronco sounds kind of insane.
Yeah.
If you're ready to upgrade your wallet and maybe your ride, for a limited time, go to ridge.com, use promo code Titus at checkout. You'll get 10% off your order and you'll get a chance to win the biggest sweepstakes they've ever done. Obviously, the Lamborghini, the Velociraptor, or the Ford Bronco, or $100,000 in cash. You don't have to buy anything to enter, but every dollar you spend will be an entry for you. That's ridge.com, promo code Titus. You get 10% off as well. At the end, they're going to say, how did you hear about us? Please support our show and tell
Titus
them we sent you.
Podcast helps us all the time.
I'm going to go do this.
And
now.
subscribe. I am too. I want you guys to know something. I'm going to say the last thing about the election fraud. Here's
Okay.
how we know. Here's how we know without a doubt that the 2020 election was accurate. You ready?
Yeah.
Fox News had to pay the election company $800 million.
The machine.
The machine company. So wait, so
The
here's
voting
like, so
machine.
if there was any evidence at all of fraud, if there was any evidence at all that the election had been tweaked with, rigged, it was a hoax, there's no way that Fox would pay out $800 million. The 2020 election was safe. The 2024 election, however, I believe was rigged. Now,
The one that Trump ran? Or,
the one. No, he didn't.
that Biden ran.
That Biden ran. No, but I believe it was rigged. There's no way Elon Musk could have known the outcome 4 hours before. There's no way.
Well, they kept saying shit.
He kept saying he knows
these
those machines. It's on the Armageddon update.
Yeah.
We put it on last week.
Fauci is testifying before Congress.
We got to talk about this. So again, more Epstein files distraction.
Mhm.
So that was 2020. Why is Fauci currently getting yelled at in Congress right now when every piece of evidence, scientific evidence, and we had Lakota Man as a guy I follow on Threads.
Yeah.
He's a healthcare worker. He actually said the people that died during COVID were the people that were unvaccinated.
Yeah.
I was a nurse. I was there.
Mhm.
When you look at the efficacy of the vaccine compared vax versus unvaxxed, it's more than double. Like the people that died by far, like 3 times as many, were people that were unvaxxed. The people that survived were vaccinated.
So Fauci
They need a bad guy.
was issued a preemptive pardon by Biden.
Right.
Biden said just in case he saw it coming for a lot of people, unfair prosecution. So Rand Paul has from RFK a trove of Fauci's personal diaries from
How
day to
did this-
day,
how did
his
this
life,
happen?
what he was doing.
But how did this happen?
I'm assuming he got it through HHS access.
So they have to subpoena
I don't-
that. They've subpoenaed his writings.
So the problem is he has this pardon, but it wouldn't cover anything that happened after. And he's testified before Congress a cajillion times
repeatedly.
already. That's a legitimate number.
And a powerful light didn't work.
Rand Paul admitted before the hearing to media that he was going to try and trap Fauci in a lie, so then they could prosecute him for perjury. So
They kicked his lawyer out. Did you see that?
given that, he pled the fifth multiple times. And now Rand Paul says he's going to try to get an obstruction of investigation charge.
So wait. So
And contempt.
Donald Trump, we have him pleading the fifth probably 400 times on camera from the investigations he's had and the stuff that he got busted at. And now they're going to go after Anthony Fauci, who a guy who saved millions of lives because of his AIDS research, a guy who helped fast track the mRNA vaccine.
Just a scientist and a doctor.
Just a guy who's trying to save lives, but it distracts from the Epstein files. Release the Epstein files. Release them. There's 3 million documents. If you didn't rape children, Mr. President, please release the 3 million documents. Mr. President, we have reports and testimony from women that were underage when you raped them that say you raped them. If that is not true, please release those files.
So there are things in his diaries, but
Like what?
that they're saying is problematic, that undermine things that he said in the past. But you have to remember it's a day-to-day diary. And so again, in comes common sense. So January 26, 2020, he writes that the first COVID infection was in early December and was not connected to the market. Now, it's sort of like the wet market. It's sort of like, the Old Testament to the New Testament. Again, eunuchs. Denotes a passage of time and a learning curve. And so he's writing for himself what's currently happening.
But I go with Jon Stewart on this one.
Yeah.
Okay, you can say, so he said it wasn't connected to the wet market, which backs up what Jon Stewart said. He goes, it's called the Wuhan virus. Guess what happened to be in Wuhan, China? A lab that was developing the COVID virus.
Well, then he says later, now we know the market was not the source, it was the amplifier. Having said that, somewhere this virus jumped from animals to humans. So he's literally just documenting as they're finding things.
Scientists, like a scientist would.
Correct. That is what they're really going after. Rand Paul has been burning up about this on social media, saying that he had already taken the wet market off the table and he lacked credibility.
I'm very tired that you guys keep lowering my chair, by the way.
I did not do it. It happened before I got here.
Yeah, but you were the one who made the phone call.
I promise I did not call today. Your Honor, I swear I did not do this.
Jokes,
groceries, I will tell you today the reason in the beginning I kept messing with my chair.
Affordability.
He raised mine as high as it would go. And I couldn't get my legs under it. So that's why I was sitting here.
Beavis and buttheading the whole thing.
The whole time I was trying to fix the chair without being obvious about it. Son
of a bitch.
I think
both of you guys.
Yet again, another salacious distraction from the fact that they still won't release the Epstein
3 million documents. Ted Lieu. Here's how we know what's in there is horrible. Because Ted Lieu came out and said there are girls as young as 9 in the Epstein files. The list of people in there, Pam Bondi, someone at one point said, if the list of the people that did in Epstein files came out, it would destroy the country. Well, no. If that's what has to happen, that's what has to happen.
He said that to Marjorie Taylor Greene.
If you raped children, let the country go down. Yeah. That's what we need to do because there is no excuse for that. There is no upside. There's no, we're going to let that go. Not going to happen.
Well, if you're involved in it, you would. And there again, common sense. Wait a minute. So there's one guy who's specifically spearheading the whole government and covering this up.
Was best friends with.
And we know that he was best friends because in sworn testimony in a deposition, the pedophile sex trafficking creep said, we've been best friends for over 10 years. Yep. And also said in another email that Donald Trump was the worst human being he had ever met in his life.
And he said, I've met some really bad people.
Well, I guess he has. He has.
You know what? Say what you will at Epstein. He was horrible,
in
evil.
His line of
he
work.
He was a polyp on Satan's ass, but for God's sakes, he was self-aware.
Yes, for God's sakes.
You can say that.
So there's common sense. It's under him and his personal lawyer who slipped at his AG hearing, nomination hearing, and said, well, I'm President Trump's personal lawyer. I mean, I used to be.
So when this ends, and I don't know how this ends. I don't know how this, I sense, I keep thinking that it's, and I keep believing that there's going to be a change, that someone's going to step up, that the Republicans are going to finally go, fuck this guy. They're not. So whatever they've got, whatever money they're being sent, because imagine this, and I've said this before, why is every member of Congress in the Republican side, look, our side just doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. I mean, I would say this about Schumer. Schumer needs to go. Needs to go. So does Hakeem Jeffries. I've never seen a more inept group of humps. With all they have, all the evidence they have, they're doing nothing?
Well, what I love is it Miles Taylor, who was a Trump staffer. He has created a mobile Epstein exhibit that is set to take off on a nationwide tour coming up. It's a reading room on wheels full of millions of files related to Jeffrey Epstein. It's about to hit the road. They want people to finally see the totality of the shocking documents for themselves. It's called the Donald J. Trump and Jeffrey Epstein Memorial Bookmobile.
Why harm the bookmobile name like that? Why harm that bookmobile?
It's going to make stops across the country showcasing evidence turned over that organizers hope will be impossible for people to unsee once they see it.
Well, that's what Ted Lieu looked so rattled in that conference. And I was like,
yeah.
And here's what Noel Castor, by the way, has also come out and talked horrible shit about him. Ted Lieu has come out and said it. Who left crying that one day?
It's Nancy Mace.
Nancy Mace.
Marjorie Taylor Greene was never the same again.
Nope.
Started standing with the victims and even on the steps and saying we will get justice for these victims, and then got personal calls and texts from Trump saying a lot of people I know are going to be very hurt by this. You need to stop.
Can you try that number?
Nancy Mace was called into the Situation Room, which was fairly
she was going to vote,
unprecedented.
right?
So yeah, a lot of people that was too tight. We're fairly traumatized by what they saw in those files, and we still haven't seen everything that they saw.
And before we go, because I want to move on to the correspondence dinner because it was so hilarious.
Do you also want to talk about him attacking the Smithsonian?
How does it get crazier every week? The Smithsonian, the people that all they do is report the real, actual facts and history that happened with art, with stuff and memorabilia and stuff. Basically, it's like a collector. The Smithsonian Museum is like a collector of American history, you know? So here's what I want to say. Imagine what's in those files.
Oh, yeah.
So they released 3 million. They went through, they didn't redact the victims' names, which is they were ordered to. They redacted the criminals' names, the people who raped its names. That's what they did. Now, they released those files, and some of it's heinous.
Yeah.
What they released is horrible.
Yeah, but most people didn't take the time to even go look at that.
What? So here's what he's done since we started demanding the other 3 million.
Uh-huh.
Started a war with Iran, basically ran up oil prices, ran up grocery prices. Inflation is 1.5 higher than it was under Biden.
Eggs,
at the
that
end,
was a big deal.
Eggs have now salmonella in them. We've got glass.
And we can't afford them anyway.
We've got glass and bread.
Yeah.
We've got, what was it?
Oh, diarrhea lettuce, which I'm really trying to get my hands on.
You know, diarrhea lettuce is honestly, you GLP-1, my ass. You know what I had? A salad. My ass.
If you guys find it, send it along.
So imagine all the shit he's done to distract from these files. Yep. So if he has to distract James Comey, Don Lemon, you brought it up, all the voting rights stuff, all everything that he's done. Imagine Kennedy Center, the algae pool.
Oh God, the reflecting pool, the ballroom,
the ballroom. He ripped down the White House.
The leader of Venezuela.
We kidnapped. So all that shit. This is get rid of NATO. Not help Zelensky. All this shit that didn't need to be done or done is to distract from those files. What the fuck is in those files that has so much horror in it that he is willing to put American lives at risk in a country that did not attack us? Imagine it. Release the Epstein files. You'll save the country. It's crazy where we are.
Well, here's crazy. He has ordered that signs be posted outside the National Museum of American History, warning visitors that the museum contains inaccurate information and making them aware of the White House report, Staving America's Story, which smears the museum's leadership, of course. Losers.
Wait, the people that put in how we genocided the Indians.
He literally said radical activists with an unpatriotic and anti-white agenda because they have slavery exhibits inside the Smithsonian.
Can I? Okay. This whole white supremacy thing makes me laugh because if you were so supreme, you wouldn't care. It would just show up. You'd also be dunking in the NBA.
It feels like, what about the FIFA, the soccer? He tried to mess with the outcome of the soccer game.
He didn't have to. He actually did, and he got his ass handed to him. they had a guy that got kicked off. He couldn't play, kicked out of the tournament, and he got him cleared. He tried to fucking rig the World Cup. Motherfucker tried to rig the World Cup, and he's the president of the United States.
I'm just and has removed. We have that walk of fame at the White House now with instead of the real thing about each president. He calls, Sleepy Joe Biden loser.
No, he has a picture of the auto pen in Biden's picture. He has a picture of the auto pen in place of Biden's picture.
You need to hear about one more thing that's good, and that's Hungry Root. You guys know we love this company. Hungry Root is so fun. You can literally tailor your delivery to whatever you want, or they will pre-populate your box. What sounds dirty, but you know what I mean?
To pre-populate
exactly. So what I love is that I try to eat healthier-ish most of the time.
You eat pretty healthy.
And Hungry Root, it makes that easy.
It's Christmas throughout the year, I think.
Yeah, every time it comes and you get to try.
I sit at the table, you go through the
coolest
box.
Stuff.
Yeah, you go through the box and I sit at the table, what do we do? And you start bringing out cool stuff, and it is healthy, and it's got less, no additives in it. Basically, we're getting the European additives, which is nothing.
So they ban all of that crap that the United States allows that none of the other industrialized nations allow, like high fructose corn syrup and stuff like that. So you're getting quality stuff, but you're getting so you get snacks. So it fills your pantry.
Yep.
You can get supplements. You can get kid snacks, quick things to send them to lunch with. You can get, I love some of the pre-made protein things, like the pre-marinated chicken bites or the salads or there are cooking things, but they're really quick cooking things. Street tacos he loves. The thing about this that changes your life is that it gets delivered to you. It's curated with high quality ingredients and products. And then your refrigerator looks so organized and stocked, your meal planning
which is
done
literally your life, which is literally the happiest thing for you.
The Simple Mills graham cracker things, you guys, you have to trust me on those.
Hey, hold on. Simple Mills graham cracker. She ate a whole box.
Okay, I did do that.
I got none. She didn't even give me one to try. She didn't say, try this, I'm going to finish it.
So he doesn't know how they are.
I came home and there was an empty box of graham crackers.
They take out over 200 additives,
if we were in nursery school, you'd have put in the
Does
corner.
Does not share.
You would have been put in the corner. Your mom would have been called refuses to share with others.
All their meat and seafood is high quality. They don't have hormones or antibiotics. I love that you kind of know what you're not getting when you get these products. And I love that also our pantry gets stocked. So you've got all these grab and go things. That's what we need in our lives, like chomps. Tried that for the first time, the turkey one. Freaking amazing. So I just highly recommend this, simplifying your life. And if you're trying to eat better, this is such an easy way to do it. You're going to love it as much as I do. I promise. For a limited time, you can get 40% off your first order. Plus, get a free item in every box for the life of your subscription. Go to hungryroot.com/Titus. Use promo code Titus. That's hungryroot.com/Titus. Promo code Titus to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life.
Great stuff. Now, listen, we know the guy's inept with legislation. We know he's grifting, but at least he's really, really funny when he gets on a mic. I'm going to ask Ken to put in a clip of the correspondence dinner.
So cringy.
Just right here.
He said, this is terrible, but there was lightning. Not big lightning, but you don't have to have big lightning. It takes just a little bit to do some big damage. So they said everybody must leave. 450,000 people were forced to leave, and they left. And then I said to myself, let me call up and find out what the hell's going on. And I called up.
Now, I've been doing comedy for 40 years. I have written comedy. I have a Writers Guild nomination. I have never in my life, and I've gone to open mics, and I have never in my life seen someone fucking tank it like President Trump did at the correspondence dinner. Sweet Potato Hitler had nothing to say. And here's what he finally did. And we put the clip up in the Armageddon update. At one point he goes, who wrote this crap? it's you supposed to, I mean, Tony Hinchcliffe may have come in and helped him.
You didn't read it before
you didn't, but I've never seen him. Here's the thing. It's not like he said jokes like they're supposed to be said and they bombed. He would go, you saw the clip where he would go, yeah, so yeah, Pritzker's kind of fat. You know, and you shouldn't call him fat. Hey, guy in the back. He goes, hey, guy in the back. There's no guy in the back. You don't call Pritzker fat. He's not fat. Although, you know what, though? He's lost some weight. So, guys, again, as I always say, on our little Temu dollar store daily show, mild copy, go watch Jon Stewart on Monday.
He mocks Caitlin Collins. It's an embarrassment. This is supposed to be our president. He compares her to a transgender influencer. Brushed it off over the weekend as a great compliment.
I'm sorry.
She was given an award for her coverage of Trump's meeting with Volodymyr Zelensky. And she actually responded and said she was not surprised that he insulted her. He, of course, women love this, told her she should smile more. Oh, we love that, don't we?
But you know, it's weird as I was going through just the overall society thing. So I'm on Threads and I've got a pretty decent amount of followers and I read it a lot. And there's something. Why do women choose the bear? If you put going to be a man, or are you going to bear? Who are you going to go with? Women choose the bear because at least the bear is going to do what it does. Men, you don't know what they're going to do. There's some women that were writing, and I read like 5 of them.
The bear.
They choose the bear. Like I think there's a thing. Look it up. Why do women choose the bear? It's basically women say, do you want to date a man, a human man, or do you want to go fight a bear? And a lot of them go, I'll fucking fight the bear.
Yeah,
Did you get it now?
Yes.
Sound right to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So women are saying that these men are now, I can't fucking believe where we are as a society that women, there's a company that makes these drink condoms for women that go, that snap over their drinks and they're very tight. So assholes can't drug them. There's women that were telling stories where like a friend of theirs went to a beach party and she disappeared. 3 guys disappeared and so did she. And this group of women went and found her and they were about to rape her.
My move always was to take 2 cocktail napkins and pop them over the cocktail straw so that, although certainly not foolproof, I lived in a time before drink condoms.
Right.
It was, I hoped, a deterrent in some way and would catch my eye if someone was trying
flipped
to
it up. Right.
It's a white napkin.
It would get wet or something. But here's what I don't get. So say what you will about my dad. I learned how to be charming enough to just talk. Guys, you could try, instead of drugging them and raping them, don't be an asshole. Or how about this? What if you actually had a personality? Oh, I know. What if you were amusing? Oh, that would work. Or what if you were just caring? What if you opened the door for them? What if you brought them flowers? What if you did something like take them to dinner and not say, hey, you're paying half? What if you did some shit that you're supposed to do when you're a man instead of trying to drug them and rape them? Speaking of that, Andrew Tate is in jail.
Yay.
And so is Tristan Tate.
Can I tell you this really quickly? I just wanted you guys to know before we talk about that he doubled down this weekend and posted a picture on True Social, AI generated, of Caitlin Collins' face on Mulvaney's body from a Budweiser ad.
The President of the United States did that.
A young girl, female reporter, put her body on a transgender influencer for laughs. I feel like she may have gotten the last laugh because she went on Jon Stewart. She went on the Daily Show.
Great.
And she said, and you know how people get inside his head about his audiences and attendance. She said, in the room, I was not surprised when he insulted me. That's happens regularly in the Oval Office. This was just a bigger venue. What was most surprising to me was the room was filled with his staffers, his cabinet, his allies, Republicans in Congress. And it was so quiet in the room during his remarks.
Rachel, it was the worst set I've ever seen. He sat there for an hour. And at one point, you see one of his guys, one of the Republicans, and Jon Stewart did a great thing where he goes, someone's having an existential. There's one of them guys, he's got his hand, he's like this. He's just got his hand over his face like this. And there's people watching Trump like this.
because he didn't use it like everyone does. Like Obama was so charming and funny and fun and in and out. He stood up and did one of his Trump rallies where he aired his grievances, made fun of people. I mean, it was awkward. It was awful.
The funny thing,
and then his big joke was, I think it's a scoop. I just want everybody to know I'm running for a 4th term, puts on, of course, some dumb shit merch, 2028 Trump. He goes, because I really won 3. And people are like, oh, shit.
it was, I've never, I've seen, okay, all right, here's what I'll compare it to. And I've talked about this before. A while back when I had my TV show, around 2000, maybe 99, I did the American Comedy Awards, and they wrote me a bit that didn't work at all. I had a live gun on stage. I was supposed to shoot Charlton Heston. Yeah. It didn't work. And I told them it wouldn't. It died so bad that I walked off. It took about 4 minutes to do the bit. Trump did an hour 23 to dead silence. And at one point he does a joke. He goes, he goes, I want you to come upstairs and make love to me. He goes, I'm so old I can only do one of those. And then he goes, see, because he's old and he can't go up the stairs or make love. He did. He explained the joke, and I was like, listen, I hate the guy so much, and it's, and I went like this. Oh, and here's the thing. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you something. We have had people in the past that maybe weren't the best speakers. George W. We've had people in the past, but George W. had a decent heart. We've had people in the past that were great speakers, knew how to be funny. I have never in my lifetime, watched a man who's supposed to run the country, who's supposed to be able to get up and speak, be so inept at speaking, so inept at language, so inept at choosing the right word or believing the word is not a word. Like, that's the craziest shit. But the one thing that points to his psychotic, satanic nature is that I've never seen the man actually laugh or be funny.
He does this thing.
But I've never seen him be funny.
That pelican thing, I can't stand.
He has no dogs.
He did it because the Wall Street Journal reporters who investigated and did that story about the birthday book for Jeffrey Epstein, and they unearthed that woman's body picture with his signature being the pubic hair, in which he says to his guy friend, pedophile, child sex trafficking ring guy, we share a secret. And then something about we like them, the secret, we like them young or something. I'm paraphrasing. And he then sued the Wall Street Journal for that.
A wonderful secret. We share a wonderful secret.
Which is what men always say to each other. Yeah. And what secrets are you sharing with a child sex trafficking, pedophilia
guy who'd already done time
like
for it?
What? They won an award that night. And if you watch him, he does that hunched over and then that pelican face thing. Like, he cannot just be in his own skin. It's so pathetic to watch.
I want to point out one more thing about the Epstein files. JP Morgan Chase and Deutsche Bank paid off 1,000 victims.
Yep.
$375 million combined. So if there's nothing in those Epstein files, why did some bank out of nowhere, out of the goodness of its heart, because we all know that financial institutions really, really want to make things right, even if it costs them $375 million. How many times have you done a car loan or something and the car loan was late and they were like, hey guys, don't worry about it. We'll make this payment for you. All the time, right? I remember when your mortgage, you remember they didn't foreclose on your house because the bank said, hey guys, we're just going to pay it off.
Yeah.
$375 million was paid out to women for things that Jeffrey Epstein and people in those Epstein files did. Mm-hmm. Now, you know and I know damn well no bank came up with that money. However, if you're part of the richest billionaires in this country, and you know that if this comes out, everything is over, how much you really kick in? There's one guy on the Epstein list, something like, I forget, Lee something, whatever. one guy, this guy paid Jeffrey Epstein over the years. It's like $70 million.
Oh, the guy that he
and
let
he said
manage
his money for
even though he wasn't a money
but he
man,
wasn't managing his
he didn't
money.
really have a
They were
degree.
fees and costs. So guys, all this other distraction, the Iran war, which is horrible. We've had 14 or 18 people dead. Oh, that's another thing. While we're gone, he took 4 people off the list of the dead because he wanted to lower the number because those people were killed during the quote ceasefire that he keeps turning on and off. We're fucked, people. I keep thinking it's going to change. It doesn't look like it. What looks like is going to happen is there's going to be a day. And I said something the other day. I said Springsteen could have written an entire album with the people that ICE have killed. Les Wexner.
Couldn't think of his name.
How much money was it?
Well, damn. I just left it.
Sorry, my bad. But when you look at what's gone on, we've all forgotten because since the Epstein files came out, since Pam Bondi got fired, there's always some fucking carnival.
$1 billion.
So
how you're saying
the entire country
all of these billionaires who are intertwined somehow. Peter Thiel, who's popped up as getting J.D. Vance elected as vice president,
right,
was partners with Elon Musk in PayPal.
Yep.
So it's
Buddies.
all like
a bunch of cabal of douchebags that basically raped kids. Yes. That's what it looks like.
Got it.
The Iran war continues on. Iran is basically where our strategic oil reserves are being drained. The Iran war continues on.
Trump said the U.S. direct quote from your Christian president will beat the fucking shit out of them after Iran launched a surprise missile strike.
Oh, so he quoted Jesus, is what you're saying?
Yes.
He quoted Jesus
with
directly.
An AR. That's what he said. That's not an AR, but
Can I, what do you
get the point.
You know, it's really bumming me out, and then we'll wrap up.
Yeah.
Where do we go? Like, how does this end? Because what it looks like what's going to happen is it looks like it's going to end us fighting ICE.
We need to stop with this Iran war. We need to stop. Like
It's not
even
go-
Republicans
he
are
can't.
saying he needs to stop.
But he can't.
now.
You got to remember, you got the thinnest
Call
skin.
your L and move on. He and Hegseth are quite specifically
Hegseth, Jesus.
contradicting each other about US munitions. US munitions. That's hard to say.
The U.S. munitions.
Oh man.
Boom!
We should cut that. That's not fair.
No, that one we can stay.
We're in of course. We're in month 5. And as I told you guys last week, we know that we're running out of munitions because Hegseth had to go to the Hill with his tail between his legs and beg for more money, which he got.
But so you've got a guy who's a reporter, who's the Secretary of Defense, who's basically fucking it up so bad that we've burned through our munitions, which means they didn't have a plan. You've got the thinnest skinned guy who avoided the draft 5 times, who called our soldiers suckers and losers. And when all those generals and he were recently out there watching those 4 guys come back, and Trump, they all had their heads bowed, praying. Trump was just looking out. I have to be honest with you. I don't think this ends well. This ends in a bad place for America.
It's already not.
No.
Especially
I just
for
mean
those 20 young service members who gave their lives, who some of whom are being deleted from the KIA list simply to make him look better.
On top of all the black soldiers in Arlington who were taken off lists, on top of all the black generals that were honored in Arlington that have been taken off the list,
service members, not just soldiers, can't help it.
And service members who were actually up for promotion, but they were black women and black men and minority men, and Hegseth just cut it. So you've got a Coast Guard chief. You've got a Secretary of Defense with fucking Nazi tattoos. And here's the thing: when you guys say it's both sides, Plattner, gone.
Yeah.
Nazi tattoo. Even we went. You had it for 18 years and didn't know. Fuck off. So guess what the Democrats did? Exited him. Over. However, Hegseth has them left and right, white supremacist tattoos, and we just go fine with it. This is not going to end well.
Let me tell you, here's a really quick timeline about our munitions, because we talked about this last week.
Oh, thank you for this.
Over the weekend, Kristen Welker on NBC asked UN Ambassador Mike Waltz about the press reports that Donald Trump called off a major military strike against Iran. Multiple outlets were reporting it because our U.S. munition stockpiles are depleted. He said a lot of our stockpiles were depleted because of
the Biden administration. You know, the guys that didn't go to war, the guys that didn't get rid of any munitions, the guy that didn't go after a country that didn't attack us. You mean it's Biden's fault?
Then he was asked if he was acknowledging that the stockpiles were depleted, and he said no. Okay. Are you confused yet? Trump said just this week, we're in very good shape about the munitions supply when he was asked. Then he added, because he can't keep his mouth shut, for some of the more sophisticated stuff, we'd certainly like to have more. But who? Who? Biden gave it away. Biden gave it away. However, nobody has flip-flopped quite like our defense sec.
Oh, let's hear this.
Hegseth.
What is douchebag? What does suit full of hair gel say?
In the first days, he declared that there was no shortage of munitions and that our munitions are full up. Now, please recall that the UN ambassador and the president just said that when we came in, they were depleted because of Biden. Okay. So he said they were full up.
Okay, so we're totally full up, except Biden depleted them.
However, in April, he told lawmakers that it could take months or even years to replenish America's weapons supplies. Then in June, he went back to his earlier position, saying on CBS Face the Nation that America's munition stockpiles are great and only getting stronger. However, in his congressional testimony last week, he was begging for a higher Pentagon budget. He couched his request. He was asking for $1.5 trillion by attacking the Biden administration for 4 years of mismanagement and underinvestment of our munitions supplies.
Well, I just want to point something out. Hey, guys, if you're not creating war worldwide, if you're actually making trade work, if you're actually making countries your allies, if you're not pissing off NATO, if you're actually helping out a country like Ukraine that was attacked by the Russians, and you're actually not attacking, fighting, or creating war, guess what you can do? You don't need the munitions. You can actually just make the world work. As opposed to this asshole who basically started a war with a country that didn't attack us, who basically has stopped giving Ukraine money. So Ukraine now has showed up at our White House this week, our White House that's been destroyed, wrecked, and torn down by this dickhead, and offered us, Ukraine offered us drone technology this week.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
It's like,
and by the way,
Dan Kane, chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, cautioned Trump and his aides about this military operation against Iran. He said it would face challenges because the U.S. munitions stockpile has been significantly depleted by Washington's ongoing defense of Israel. Also in April, the Pentagon asked Congress for a 42% increase in military spending, specifically stating 52% of that total request should be focused on purchases of munitions, planes, tanks, and ships.
Can I ask you one thing? Can you look at before we go? What was the bill that we were supposed to combine our military with Israel? There was a bill that they got voted on. It was going through and then it stopped. That we were going to mingle our military with Israel's military.
I saw something.
Did you see what happened in New York? Did you see that these Jewish people, some of the Orthodox, they protested against the Zionists? They were saying the Zionists need to go. And these are religious Jewish religious leaders.
So that has been debunked as well. That would be Section 219 of the fiscal year 2027 National Defense Authorization Act.
Right.
It would establish the United States-Israel Defense Technology Cooperation Initiative. Rumors have circulated on social media that it would merge our militaries. However, it says...
However,
the PolitiFact and the American Jewish Committee claim that the two forces being combined are fundamentally false. What it actually does is it doesn't integrate the troops or operational command structure. Section 219 would streamline how the two nations share military technology and research.
So it kind of does, but then we're not going to have the.
This kind of walks a line.
Yeah, right. It's like it
would
is and it isn't.
Direct the U.S. Defense Secretary to appoint an overseer to coordinate bilateral tech research. So we'd be working with them. And he would be able to appoint an executive agent. It focuses on R&D, joint research in advanced sectors like AI, drones, cyber defense, missile tracking. It would secure supply chains because it turns out we got a supply chain problem. And it would enable data fusion.
Hold on. Wait, Biden fixed all the supply chains. That's how we got the stores full again. Wait, we have a supply chain problem again with Mr. Trump?
I believe they're speaking of munitions.
Yeah, but we've had a supply chain problem. Farmers have gone bankrupt.
Defense supply chains, not regular supply
Got it. So we've got defense supply chains broken because Trump's great at breaking supply chains. We have farmers. We can't get fertilized now because he's fucked up the Strait of Hormuz, so we can't get fuel, gas anymore. We've got the strategic petroleum reserves at the lowest level it's been forever. And we don't have that much to keep doing it. They've been propping up, keeping oil prices low by fucking pouring the strategic oil reserves into it to make sure there's a supply. That will run out. When that runs out, there's a level, by that I was reading today, there's a level that the strategic oil reserves, which are in giant salt mines, when it gets too low, those mines become shaky. And because there's nothing holding them up, the pressure of so this guy is fucking up everything in our country, from eggs to fucking bombs,
diapers. He's messing those up hourly.
He's ruining diapers.
And
can you explain something to me as a woman? This girl that they're saying that,
as opposed to how I usually explain things.
No, I mean from the woman perspective. Okay. I'm not that. No. Thank you. I mean, thank you and sorry. So. This girl, this aide that's around him this blonde girl that's around him all the time, that everyone's saying that there's stuff going on between them.
There is nothing going on under.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking. But what would make this stinky, dumb, dementia-riddled dipshit attractive? Money?
No one with those cankles is getting blood to any other protruding body parts, I can assure you.
And that's how we're going to end today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for paying attention to the podcast.
I'm a scientist. I've done some research. It doesn't happen.
Yes, you have.
Exactly.
Guys, thanks for paying attention. Thanks for watching. I want you guys to know the media that we're watching currently on television, and I watch it all the time. Half of it, the only people that are telling the truth seem to be Jon Stewart and the Daily Show, honestly, and all the people there.
Jon Stewart is just incredible.
He is literally an American hero. I think we need to. I would put him in charge of 60 Minutes. That'd be fucking amazing. Of course, Barry Weiss.
If you want to see Titus this weekend, the Ben Theater in West Bend, Wisconsin.
And
one show on July 31st, one show on August 1st, and then he's headed to Grand Rapids, the Intersection Theater, coming up. Des Moines, KC, Omaha, Salt Lake, Arizona. Go to ChristopherTitus.com/tour to
There's
get
a lot
all
more
of those
dates. There's a lot more dates I found out yesterday that aren't on the calendar. So.
Yeah, there's also.
I was like, oh.
He's going to be doing a California run that is going to be live soon. So Crest Theater, Sacramento. You guys ask for that one all the time, and also Fresno Tower Theater, returning to the scene of the crime, the semen of the crime.
Wow,
where the very drunk lady ruined the filming of
also the bottles rolling down the theater. Voice in my head.
Voice in my that
was a fun night. We were filming, and all of a sudden, they gave everybody glass beer bottles, and we're in the middle of jokes, and I hear kink,
shink. I was out in the audience running around, also trying to find the lady that went woo at the end of every setup and punchline.
And also Rachel's new special is about by the way, it's done edited, it's loaded up on Vimeo, been done, totally done.
Yep.
It's going out to the people that need to see it, and hopefully it'll be very soon. Guys, this special is so good. This girl is so funny.
Oh, E. Jean Carroll's $83.3 million award is now at the Supreme Court, where he had to pay the $5 million. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
I'm sad because I really believe we're not going to get out of this unscathed.
Well, polls show James Tallarico leading Ken Paxton in Texas, and that's going to be a big effing deal.
Ken Paxton, by the way, who has voted illegally from an illegal address 6 times.
The voting fraud people. Make it make sense.
Guys, do me a favor. Keep watching Scream Sanity on the daily. We try to give you facts. Even in real time, she fixes stuff that we say. The internet is lying to you.
It's hard to keep up with what's
Yeah,
real
it
and
is.
what's not.
We won't. Keep screaming sanity. For myself, go to ChristopherTitus.com, by the way. We have some cool merch, all kinds of stuff you want.
And also go to Instagram, Titus Nation, Ray Bradley, Rae Bradley. Ken has started posting, I think, what he thinks are Titus's rantiest moments, and it's causing quite a stir. So just go to see what that drama is.
And I'm on the road, and people are going, "Thank you for posting that." I'm like, "Yeah, all my shirts are Kevlar."
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Myself, the lovely Rachel Bradley, and myself later.
Peace out.